all this is gonna be new except for no Rumble because I have to do too much to get that started. But Facebook, we're on right now. So as YouTube, we're on and D Live. Let me go ahead and get the feed here. And we'll be good. All right, so here is. All right, here is it. Let me go ahead and message folks. How's everybody doing? Make sure you guys come on in here. Yeah, we're back. We are back. I want folks to know what happened. And here's the YouTube link here. My internet box did an upgrade. It's some sort of update. I want folks to know that. I kid you not. I kid you not. While we're streaming, it did an update. Yeah, that's crazy. So we're back now. Look like everything's good. So I want to make sure that people got the new feed here. If I can get Rumble going, I'll try. All right, if I could get Rumble going. But let's speak about this here. So Marilyn Mosby claiming racism here. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead and finish off your thoughts there.
Oh, okay, me? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you work on that, and I'll just kind of finish off my thoughts here.
Yeah, on
But
Marilyn
but
Mosby.
yeah, let me just straighten something out there. It was the mayor of Baltimore that
Baltimore, there
said
you go.
we
Woo.
need. Yeah, it was the mayor of Baltimore. Now, this woman, this Marilyn Mosby, she's a loon, and she's the one that tried to prosecute those four jailers. Remember during the riots, they
Oh,
actually put these
yeah.
guys in the paddy wagon, and
Mm-hmm.
the question was, oh, they gave them a rough ride, and she had these guys all charged up, and they were just doing their job, and
Yeah, and
it
the
turned
Negro
out,
died because he was in the back of the paddy wagon, right?
yeah, there was all that was in it, but it was this rough ride, and
Mm-hmm.
there. But anyway, it turned out that all the guys that she had charged up were exonerated. They did nothing wrong.
Yep.
They just put them back there, and they tried to pretend as if they were purposely giving them a rough ride, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, she is a loon, and it always, turns out that whenever a Democrat gets prosecuted for doing wrong, they get caught, then they always cry racism. Okay. Whenever a black Democrat gets caught, they will always cry racism. In her case, is racism and sexism. She wants to portray herself as some kind of, genius civil rights leader leading the charge. No, she was patting her own coffers, using money that she should not have used. She
Yep.
was lying on these financial applications in order to use the COVID money to withdraw money so she could buy some houses with that money. It was for the COVID-19 crisis, and she tried to embezzle and use that money, and she got caught with it. And now she wants to be very, very emotional because, once again, she's a female, she's
Mm-hmm.
entitled, and people have this, you know, thing that when females get in trouble, they can just cry and whine, and we all are supposed to believe it. but hopefully she will go to jail for what she's done. I hope she does go to jail.
Absolutely. She's trying to get out of it by using color and all sorts of stuff. And she's not really speaking to the evidence that is against her.
Exactly.
She's doing what, most females do when it comes down to the blame game. Instead of speaking about the evidence, it's either somebody has a motive because they don't like it. It's something to do with the emotion. And this type of behavior is prevalent in the Democrat Party, Anthony Allen.
Yes.
When Democrat women get caught up, the first thing they say, right, either white or black, it's because I'm a woman is the reason why you're saying this. And after that is, whatever victim, level they want to go to. If they're a woman, then it's a black woman, right? Minority woman,
Yeah.
they will find a way to be a victim. And right
Yeah.
now, she is portraying the Democrat motto, being a victim. If you're caught, you're a victim. Hey, I know you see my hand in the cookie jar. I know you caught my hand in the cookie jar. But listen, I'm a victim. Had you have not been looking with your racist eyes, you would have never seen this. You're doing this because you're racist and you hate me. Right?
Yes.
This is the level of discourse that we're having in this country. And really, it's a childish, immature type of conversation we're having. There's nothing about race in here. It's everything to do about crime. Last words.
It's everything to do about crime. A lot of, blacks, they have this belief that every black person, in high office is a crusader for justice. And they're carrying the baton for justice for all the black people. And these black people in these high offices, including Obama, including Ketanji Brown Jackson, they are not crusaders for justice. They're doing it to pad their own coffers. It's just the fact that liberals like to give black people this BS that every black person that we pick, they're really working for you, black guy, black woman. No, they're not. She was working for herself, patting her own coffers. She got caught, and now she wants to portray herself as a crusader for justice. No, she's not. She's a scam artist, and she got caught, and she will not, like you said, Jermaine BOTSIO, address the issues. She wants to distract with blackness and femaleness and womanness. She's going to jail.
She's going to jail. She is. And while she's going to jail, she'll be claimed she's a victim, just like they all do. Hillary Clinton, that is the liberal female mindset. Women in this country, and I can't even say, just liberal women, I've seen this all across the board. Most of them think that they are victims. In relationships, they believe they're victims. At the job, they believe they're victims. Victimhood resides in them, and they use it to their advantage. Even, when it comes down, like I said, relationships, a victim, it's almost like they never do anything wrong in a relationship. If you ask most women why they're not with so-and-so, they'll tell you, hey, because he did this, because he did that, he did this, he did that. It's never because I was a bitch and I drove him to do this, because I did this, I did that. There's no self-awareness there. And this transpires to other avenues in their life. And you can see it when it comes down to taking responsibility in the workplace. I mean, there's not too many men that will stand up and run their mouth when caught up like this and say, you know what, They're going after me because I'm black. Most men won't even do this. They'll come up with some sort of legal angle to get out of it or for a reason. But to make these type of emotional arguments, they don't hold water when it comes down to facts. And we need to see this. We need to, because that is the liberal playbook. Liberals are very keen and conniving when it comes down to these type of things. They are. They know that most folks are tricked by it. That's why people got to remain strong. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to speak about Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is a very big case, and it's a very important case. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Marjorie Taylor Greene is in a legal challenge for her political career right now, and really setting a precedence for other politicians. I want folks to understand that. Right now, they are trying to make it so that she can never run again, because they believe she was an instrument to what they call the January 6th insurrection. I want to go ahead and run this clip here. When it comes back, I want to speak about it. How feasible is this? Will they be able to block her from getting reelected or running for office again? Here we go. Make sure you guys share.
A judge is expected to issue his recommendation in the next few weeks about Georgia U.S. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. She testified in federal court on Friday as part of a lawsuit challenging her eligibility to run for re-election. The court challenge says her actions helped facilitate the January 6th storming of the Capitol and therefore says she should be ineligible to rerun for office. Greene denies all of those accusations. Now, once the judge makes the decision, the case will then be handed over to Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. Joining me now is Kristen Welker in for Chuck Todd this morning. Kristen, good morning.
Hi, Christy. Good morning. Good to see you.
There is a legal challenge looking to disqualify Georgia Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from running for re-election based on the January 6th Capitol riots. And that decision will soon be in the hands of Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. How likely is it that Raffensperger would remove Greene's name from this year's ballot, especially since there are legal ramifications here as well as political?
You're absolutely right. Look, we're going to have to wait and see what he does, but there's no point. This case has become a flashpoint, and Marjorie Taylor Greene was quite defiant when she took the stand in her defense. She said that she never stoked or aimed to stoke any violence on January 6th. Of course, she is on tape saying it's time to do more, to go further. So, look, this really underscores, I think, some of the divisions within the Republican Party, and that's part of the way to look at what's happening right now. She is someone who I think a number of moderate Republicans would look at and say is to the far right, has trended towards some conspiracy theories, and that has potentially been problematic for some of those who are running in more moderate districts. And that's the way to think about this, because this is a critical election year. This is a moment when Republicans are fighting to win back the House and the Senate. And this type of a distraction is not what they want to be dealing with or talking about.
Speaking of divisions within the Republican Party, with House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy.
And I'm going to stop it right here. So, Anthony Allen, Marjorie Taylor Greene, her fate will be soon decided here soon. Do you believe that she will be blocked from running again? Or do you think that, this will all just be wash over?
Yeah, this is a very serious case. And I've been talking about this on your show, and you've been talking about this. This is the liberal Democrats, the radical, crazy wokenuts they are using the 14th Amendment to remove Republicans from running. Okay, the 14th Amendment talks about that if anyone participated in the insurrection, that they are disqualified from ever running. And this was targeted to or at the Confederates. Okay, and they use the word insurrection. And so that's why you see that the wokenuts, the January 6 crazy people like Liz Cheney and Adam Schiff, they keep using the term insurrection because that's a term that was used in the 14th Amendment to prohibit Confederates from running. If you were participating in the insurrection, you cannot hold office. Now, they used this against Madison Cawthorn, okay, in Virginia, and it didn't work. But they used his 14th Amendment to try to take him off the rolls from running. He fought it, it didn't work. So now they're going after Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now, they will be going after every Republican that is on the ballot. If they were anywhere near Washington, D.C., if they tweeted, thumbs up while they were in Washington, D.C., they will try to take them off the ballot by using the 14th Amendment, by using the amendment that Republicans use to take the racist Democrats off the ballot. Okay, so they have flipped it around to use it against the Republicans. Now, the ultimate goal, really, with the 14th Amendment is to have these test cases. They didn't get Madison Cawthorn. They're going after Marjorie Taylor Greene, and they'll find others. The idea isn't to get all of them to work. They just need one.
Yep, they do.
They just need one because the idea is to use it as precedents to go after who? President Trump. That's who they want off the ballot using the 14th Amendment. I think it may be Section 3 of the 14th Amendment because they want to take Trump off the ballot. The Democrats have no desire to run and compete in elections. What they want to do is remove people off the ballot because they want one party, and that's the Democrat Party. They want to criminalize free speech, criminalize protests so they can have one party. And finally, what the ultimate goal is not just to remove President Trump from running because they want to label him as an insurrectionist, but they want to jail President Trump. They want to jail Marjorie Taylor Greene. They want to jail Republicans. But the big goal is to put President Trump in jail using the 14th Amendment. That's what this is about. And you know it, I know it, and the people, the great people on Conservative Nation, we need to talk about this because everyone else, they're going all over the place. We need to focus on this very, very critical point that they want to criminalize Republicans, and they're going to use the 14th Amendment to do it.
Fire, absolutely. Fire assessment. That's exactly what they want to do. They want to use this as precedence. If they can get a few folks to get caught up like this, they can go ahead and get President Trump. That's exactly what they want. They're going to say, hey, well, President Trump is the biggest one who was doing it. You know, look at Marjorie Taylor Greene. All she said was this, but it doesn't compare to President Trump. He said all of this, right? They could twist Trump's words from here to Pakistan and make sure that they can get a verdict to stop him. That's what they want to do. So this is very, 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 very big. And people are not seeing it. Any Republican politician who said anything, hey, you guys march towards your goal. You say anything like that, your ass is grass. That's what they want to do. And you're exactly right. They don't want to compete. They want to cheat. That's what they want to do because they know they can't compete in what we call the battle of wits, right? Using your mind, ideas, right? Who got the best ideas, right? They can't compete with that because they know their ideas ain't good. Their ideas come from fairy tale land. And when your ideas come from fairy tale land, ladies and gentlemen, when it meets reality, a lot of times it doesn't work out, right? So they know this. The only way for them to win is to run with an emotional lie, right? An emotional narrative lie that they've been doing for decades, or cheat. And this emotional game they're running is running its course now. People are tired of folks who cry all the time, right? They're tired of speaking about feelings. You go ahead and speak to folks outside about feelings. They say, F feelings, F them, right? Because they're tired of speaking to people who are crazy, where they believe feelings are more important than facts. Right? People are tired of those folks, right? They're tired of people who are mentally weak, right? Yeah, they are absolutely tired. So it's a brand new day, a brand new change. Let's go ahead and move forward here. Now, Anthony Allen, we have to speak about this last Republican here, Kevin McCarthy. Let me tell you something. He is taking some hits all over right now. GOP is speaking about him. So are the Democrats. He's taking hits all over. I want to go ahead and run this audio here, which is the main reason why he's getting so much slack. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy is caught on audio saying he would ask Trump to resign after January 6th. He was speaking to one of his best friends at that time, maybe still best friend now, Liz Cheney. I want you guys to take a look at this when it come back. I want to speak about it. Here we go.
The sounds of silence coming from House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy of California after audio was released as part of a new book from New York Times reporters Jonathan Martin and Alexander Burns, where McCarthy tells fellow Republicans he has had it with President Trump and planned to urge him to resign. Previously, McCarthy and a spokesperson denied the claim, McCarthy saying the reporting was false and wrong. But now the Times reporters have released audio of an alleged exchange reportedly from a January 10th call hosted by Wyoming Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who is now vice chair of the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attacks.
Are you hearing that he might resign? Is there any reason to think that might happen?
I've had some few discussions. My gut tells me no. I'm seriously thinking of having that conversation with him tonight. I haven't talked to him in a couple days. From what I know of him, I mean, you guys all know him too. Do you think he'd ever back away?
Cheney spokeswoman denies that she recorded the conversation or that she leaked the audio and does not know how reporters got it. The audio later revealing McCarthy's concerns Trump would face impeachment and perhaps removal from office by the Senate.
The only discussion I would have with him is that I think this will pass, and it would be my recommendation you should resign. I mean, that would be my take, but I don't think he would take it, but I don't know.
Then a public pivot. The congressman seen visiting Mar-a-Lago just 3 weeks after January 6th. McCarthy was asked to cooperate with the January 6th committee, but refused. That committee now prepping to question Donald Trump Jr., believed to be among their final interviews as they prepare for public hearings. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Hello, I'm Mark Brown.
Man, oh man. So
content by clicking the
Kevin McCarthy. See, this is what happens when you work with Satan's folks. There's no love and trust among thieves, let me tell you. There's no love and trust among criminals. I can tell you that. And demons as well. Anthony Allen. Liz Cheney says she doesn't know in her office. They don't know how the heck the tape came into existence. They just don't know. They don't know. Wink, wink, right?
Yeah.
And now Kevin McCarthy, he's caught saying a whole slew of stuff. Now, you guys just got little excerpts, but there's a few tapes they released here, totaling, I believe, 11 minutes. And he says a lot of stuff there that people are speaking about. What do you think about this, Mr. Allen? Do you think that this was released as a get back for, maybe a censure? What do you think here, sir?
Oh, yeah. The closer we get to 2024, the more of this stuff that you will see. Kevin McCarthy is not anyone that can be trusted. Okay. Mm-hmm. In the very, very beginning, people had a lot of angst about Kevin McCarthy. He is a California Republican and very, very liberal. He lives with Frank Luntz, a Democrat strategist and operative. And there's a lot of strangeness about Kevin McCarthy. Mm-hmm. Also, when we think about Kevin McCarthy, we know, and he attended Joe Biden's inaugural.
Yeah, he did.
No one else did. Kevin McCarthy, of course, Vice President Pence did, maybe even Liz Cheney. Did. Okay, so we're saying, look at Kevin McCarthy. You can't trust him. He's on the stage with the guy, President Biden.
Yep. He's right there with him.
Then 3 weeks later, he flies down to Mar-a-Lago, and we're all pulling our hair out. We're saying, what is this guy up to? And then we see, him and Trump in a picture together. We say, Trump, you cannot trust this snake, okay? Kevin McCarthy is a snake, and he would love to remove President Trump from ever running. He's playing both sides of the fence, and I don't know when Trump will get this guy, okay, that he shouldn't be anywhere near President Trump. He's like the male version of a Liz Cheney.
Yep. He is. Ain't that crazy? He was playing both sides of the coin. So while he was in front of other Republicans, right? And MAGA folks, you say, yeah, I love President Trump. Wink, 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 wink. And behind closed doors, he don't really like President Trump. He thinks just like Liz Cheney. He had the same thought process. How are we going to get him to resign? Right? Do you guys think that he will quit? I mean, you guys know him, right? Do you think he will back away? He's speaking like this, ladies and gentlemen, because he doesn't like him. Had he had a good heart, he would have known that what was going on was BS. He would say, hey, President Trump didn't do anything here. But he doesn't have that thought process. He has the evil one, which says, hey, how are we going to get rid of him? This might be a perfect time for us to do it. This is how these people are. And when you are in the den of demons, they don't care what position you are. You screw them, they screw you. That's what it is. Washington is a very dirty game. And people will label him a Liz Cheney now.
Yep.
You see how Liz Cheney is? She's like a black sheep of the party, right? You say Liz Cheney, people got the knives out. Liz Cheney's here. Where is she? I want to cut her up. Where is she? Right? That's going to be a Kevin McCarthy now. Anthony Allen, moving forward here. McCarthy denies ever asking Trump to resign. I want you to take a look at this.
House Republican leader Kevin McCarthy is scrambling to contain the fallout from a leaked tape and what he said about former President Trump following the insurrection at the Capitol. CBS's Robert Costa joins us in Washington with new details. Bob, good evening.
Good evening, Adriana. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy says he and Trump have spoken several times since this story broke, but the fallout continues here in Washington.
I've never asked the president to resign and never thought he should resign.
The House Republican
never
leader
thought he should resign. What a damn lie.
He urged the former president to resign after newly surfaced audio revealed he thought about doing just that.
It would be my recommendation you should resign. I mean, that would be my take, but I don't think he would take it.
This following a week where Republicans were on edge over recorded phone calls revealing McCarthy telling colleagues in the aftermath of the Capitol insurrection that former President Trump acknowledged bearing some blame for it.
He told me he does have some responsibility for what happened.
The sudden unveiling of private Republican tensions comes after the authors of a new book.
And I want to stop it right here. So Anthony Allen, you know, even this video here really make it more damaging, don't it? You know, it make him more damaging. The man went on TV, said, I never told Trump he should resign, and I never thought, right? He said, I never thought of telling Trump to resign. And gosh darn it, he's right on audio. It looks so bad. It really does. And then they're playing more excerpts. Anthony Allen, gosh darn it. I want to play one other one that goes along with this, and I'll get your whole thoughts on this. Sebastian Gorka.
Oh, yeah.
He was on Newsmax, and he spoke about Kevin McCarthy, called him a fake conservative, says Liz Cheney is backstabbing fake conservatives. I want to go ahead and run this when it comes back. I want to get your take on it because I believe he's correct. You know, Liz Cheney is like, hey, you hate Trump just like I do. Why are you over there lying? Here we go.
Let's welcome in our first guest now of the evening. It is Dr. Sebastian Gorka, former Trump White House advisor and also the host of Gorka Reality Check here on Newsmax. Great to have you with us this Saturday, Seb.
It's exciting to be with you guys.
It is, and I want to get your reaction first to this J.D. Vance endorsement, okay? It really helped his numbers in the Senate race. He's also got Peter Thiel's monetary support, as you know. But Trump got a little bit of backlash due to his, previous anti-Trump comments. We see Josh Mandel, stumping with Ted Cruz next week. I want to know what you make of those who are upset with Trump backing J.D. Vance, Seb.
Well, I'll tell you very honestly what happened to me last week. I've had JD on the show multiple times. I wrote a tweet on Friday because I heard that the snakes, the swamp, the rhinos were trying to sabotage a potential endorsement of JD by the president. So I wrote a tweet saying, if the swamp wants to sabotage JD, now would be a great time for President Trump to endorse him. He did the next day, and then I was sent from the president's office a handwritten note on my printed out tweet saying, Seb, I did it, here you go. The endorsement tweeted out, if CNN hates you, if the Washington Post hates you, if the pedophile protectors at the Lincoln Project hate you, then you got to be a good guy. And that's exactly the roster of enemies J.D. Vance has. And all of these swamp creature, fake Republican attacks on him about him being a never-Trumper, wrong. J.D. wasn't a fan of President Trump 4 years ago. He has seen the light. He's apologized for his mistakes. And I want to see people who can actually admit to their mistakes and be real MAGA and America First, as opposed to fake conservatives. So I'm super excited for Ohio, super excited for JD, and I just can't wait for the president's rally to begin.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a great evening here, and we're thrilled to have the coverage of it as well. Of course, we're the only ones who cover it. And, you know, it's important because we know that people need to hear what's happening. The MAGA movement, strong as ever. Another thing I want to get your reaction to, it seems that this is an apparent distraction from the left. It's that leaked audio. New York Times reporters, you know, they have a book. They're trying to, you know, obviously pump sales, but they released this recording. Liz Cheney speaking with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy, talking about Jan 6. She denies that she leaked this tape. Let's listen to a little bit of it.
Is there any chance, are you hearing that he might resign?
What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call him. It would be my recommendation you should resign. I mean, that would be my take, but I don't think he would take it.
And, you know, Sebastian, Trump's already come out and said he's not upset with McCarthy. He denies, however, that he ever took any responsibility. But what do you make of this? Is this just a deliberate attempt to create chaos among Republicans?
Well, first things first, can I just reiterate the importance of what Newsmax is doing tonight? The fact that an incumbent president who got more votes than any other sitting president is only being broadcast by one channel. That is an indictment of all the other channels, Fox included. So get the app. As soon as I'm done with this interview, I'm going to be watching the president's rally on my phone because I've got the Newsmax app. So stick with Newsmax. When it comes to this audio, I played the longer version on my daily radio show, America First, and I said two things. Two things are incontrovertible. Number one, Liz Cheney is a scumbag. I mean, recording that meeting of the Republican leadership and then leaking it just tells you what an unethical, backstabbing fake conservative she is. So, number one, she has played the type. Number two, if you listen to the full discussion from Kevin, he just comes over as weak. And right after I heard the audio, I tweeted the following out. Mm-hmm. If we win the Senate and the House, if conservatives win, President Trump will run. I guarantee you that. And then he will defeat, whether it's senile old Joe, whether it's the cackler Kamala, or whether it's, you know, crooked Hillary, he will defeat whoever the Democrats put out there. But at that point, if we're in the majority in the House, I'm sorry, in a second Trump administration that is America First, we cannot have weak people like Kevin McCarthy as the Speaker. Unless he apologizes for his comments after January 6th, and he grows a backbone. If those two things happen, then Kevin can.
And we're gonna
bow, and I'm going to stop it right here. So Sebastian Gorka, he made two assessments, right? He played the longer version. Remember, I told you, ladies and gentlemen, there's a longer version there, and I'll give it to Sebastian Gorka. He was real nice with his words. He fluffed it up a bit. You know, he fluffed it up a bit. He's saying that Liz Cheney is a scumbag. You got to be an evil scumbag to do something like this, an unethical scumbag. Yeah, most folks in Washington are. Absolutely. Yeah, most folks in Washington are evil scumbags. Absolutely. So we already knew Liz Cheney leaked it. That's the only person who could leak something like this. You know what I'm saying? It had to be Liz Cheney. And second of all, he was real nice to Kevin McCarthy. He was. He could have said a lot of things. But he said Kevin McCarthy was weak. Right? He took the conversation as him being weak. He could have said traitorous, right? He could have said a lot of words. But he said weak, and I respect that. You know, Kevin McCarthy is weak. I've been saying this for a very long time. But more than weak, he's a guy who is straddling the fence and does not want to stand up for what is right. He wants to play like he's right while doing wrong. And when you're doing that type of stuff, you will eventually get caught up. You'll eventually get called out, because the saying seems to hold true. Real recognize real. Right? Real recognize real. And folks who are real can easily point out folks who are fake. And it's usually folks who don't tell the truth. Something simple where you can tell the truth, they're making up a lie. And that's Kevin McCarthy. Anthony Allen, he's saying that if Kevin McCarthy, grows some nuts, comes back and says, you know what, I apologize for me being a scumbag snake, right? And he can have a chance at saving his career. If not, he's gone with the wind. What do you think?
He has always been a low snake in the grass. He crawls lower than snakes. Okay, he's a low snake. Okay, and he's always been that way. People like myself and you had never ever trusted Kevin McCarthy. Mm-hmm. Whenever there's been talk about the Republicans winning the House, we don't want Kevin McCarthy to be anywhere near that leadership position. Of course, he is now, but we have always rejected him. Now, also keep in mind that the swamp Republicans, they have in mind who they want to run against Trump. Okay, they want Pence.
Yep.
Okay, as the president. They would like to have Liz Cheney as a VP, as on the VP list. But guess who else they would like to have on the VP list? Kevin McCarthy. They would like to have Pence at the head of the ticket and either Liz Cheney or Kevin McCarthy on that ticket. So, sometimes approaching 2024, you're going to see Mike Pence. He's going to throw his hat in, and there's going to be all this talk about who will he select for a VP should he win, and Pence will not win. And guess who it will be? It will be either Liz Cheney or Kevin McCarthy. So we are in a situation in which President Trump, he needs to, hopefully he will throw Kevin McCarthy overboard.
Yep.
Now, this isn't over yet because there's more stuff that will come out on Kevin McCarthy.
Oh, yeah.
And hopefully President Trump will say, that's it. I have put up with this guy for much too long, in the same way that Trump has put up with Mitch McConnell.
Yep.
He has got to throw these guys overboard and find new leadership, new American first leadership. And Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell, they are not American first leadership. Get rid of them. Start with Kevin McCarthy. Make it very, very clear that he's gone. And we will have new leadership. How about Gates in Florida as the Speaker of the House? Okay. But Kevin McCarthy, he will not do us any good as Speaker.
No. I believe his days are gone.
Yeah.
He's not that type to sit back and apologize for what he said.
No.
He made up a lie and said they had the audio. They literally had the audio. And he made up a lie and said that he didn't say that. He never thought of that. It's a big blow. It's a very big blow. So I don't know how he's going to get out of this. A lot of these guys sit here and like to lie. Well, yeah, I spoke to President Trump. You didn't speak to him. You didn't speak to him like that. And for him, President Trump said F Bibi Netanyahu because Bibi Netanyahu went and congratulated Joe Biden.
Yep.
And he didn't even wait to see the results, right? The full results. So if you believe that somehow Trump is okay with Kevin McCarthy for saying something like this, you're smoking. I want you to understand, because if he's can say F Bibi Netanyahu because he congratulated Joe Biden, what do you think he'll say about Kevin McCarthy saying that, yeah, I'm going to go ask him to resign? Right? Yeah, and him on tape saying, yeah, Trump said that this was his fault. Anthony Allen, can you imagine that?
Nope. I can't.
Yeah, Trump. I spoke with Trump. Trump said he's part to blame for all of this. Right? They got you on tape saying it. I don't think, Trump going to be very happy with that. Especially when they trying to throw his ass in jail. Man, what a friend, I can tell you.
Yeah. What kind of friend?
Last words on this here, buddy.
Yeah, Trump, he is such a friendly guy, I guess. But you know what? He needs to throw Kevin McCarthy overboard, because you're exactly correct. If he can tell Benjamin Netanyahu to go F himself, guess what? He can stand up to Kevin McCarthy. He has people like Matt Gaetz, Jim Jordan. He has some strong people that would make excellent leaders in the House. But you know what? When it comes to Kevin McCarthy, he needs to get rid of that dead carcass and bury it. Mm-hmm. Because Kevin McCarthy, he will, given a chance, stab Trump in the back again. He will always stab Trump in the back. Don't know what makes him that way except being evil. But no, you got Jim Jordan, Matt Gaetz, and others who would make excellent American first leaders in the House. I want to give a shout out to Kristen for her donation. Thank you very much, Kristen, for your donation. I appreciate that. And, thank you again.
Shout out to the beautiful Christian Walker. Absolutely. Donated through Cash App. I also want to give a shout out to Philip Mitchell. Philip Mitchell in the building. I gave you a wrench, Mr. Philip Mitchell. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming on here, hanging out with us. We had a little bit of a hiccup in the middle of the show, but it seems like we're back like we never left. Mr. Allen, I want to thank you so much for coming on in here. Any last words for our beautiful crowd, sir?
The beautiful crowd, stick together. The Democrats will continue to divide us on color. They're going to do that leading up to the 2024 election. They will get worse and worse. They will wax worse and worse, as the Bible says. Okay, they will continue to do this. They will use the 14th Amendment to remove people from running, to remove Republicans from running. And we need to be vigilant, and we need to be focused, and we need to put American first. Take down your Ukrainian flags, okay? Fly the American flag.
Yep.
Borders are open, okay? We are being attacked chemically by fentanyl, kills thousands of Americans all the time. They are bum rushing our border. It is an invasion. We are the people of this country. We are not the people of Ukraine. What's happening over there is terrible and bad, but you know what? We have got to put our country first. Do not be distracted by the mainstream media making you take your patriotism and placing it over in Ukraine. Place your patriotism in America first.
Absolutely. Get rid of the Ukraine flags. They don't even care about you. Stop it, ladies and gentlemen. Stop it. Care about your country.
Yes.
Right? Care about your family.
Yes.
We have to start doing the right thing here. The liberal media is in love with everybody except for themselves. Right? I want folks to think about it. Think about the liberals as a single person. The liberals exhibit everything they put on people. Liberals, in a sense, always want to change themselves. They're not happy and secure with themselves, ladies and gentlemen. They're always trying to reimagine something. I want people to understand. The liberal individual is not happy with themselves. They're always mad and upset. Folks who behave in this way will never, ever have peace in their life. We need to bring peace by doing what is right and standing firm. And I believe that a lot of people are starting to see the way. Come back to logic. And we have to be dispassionate in a lot of these areas now because emotion is being used against you. It really is. Thank you all for coming on. I like to say that. I like to thank everybody for donating and hitting that like button. Anthony Allen, once more again, thank you so much for hanging out with us. The crowd really appreciates you. I appreciate you as well, giving us your good time, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Central. Come and hang out with us. We shall have a very merry, good old time, all right? You guys take care and peace.